the members of CPPCC, together with the whole nation, actually are focusing on very key issues like economic development and COVID-19 prevention and control.
Of course, due to the coronavirus, we're seeing a shorter version of the two sessions this year as well as last year.
"各位委员、各位朋友、各位同志，中国人民政治协商会议第13届全国委员会第5次会议应出席委员2157人，实到1987人，符合规定人数。因疫情防控要求，一些委员没能参加大会，正在通过观看视频直播等方式进行履职。现在我宣布，中国人民政治协商会议第13届全国委员会第5次会议开幕。请全体起立，唱国歌。
Please take your seats.
应邀参加今天会议的有中共中央总书记、
Comrade Xi
国家主
Jinping,
席、
General Secretary
中
of
央
the
军委
CPC
主席
Central Committee,
习近平同志，
President of PRC, Chairman of the Central Military Commission.
党和国家
Leaders
其他
and
领导
comrades
同
of
志，
the Communist
中共
Party of
中
China
央
and
全国人大常委
PRC,
会
as well as the responsible people for CPC Central Committee, Standing Committee of NPC, and the State Council, as well as the foreign diplomatic envoys in China. Let's give them a warm welcome.
今天的开幕会共有
There
3
will
项
be
议
3
程。
agenda in today's opening ceremony. Now let's enter into the first agenda. We will deliberate and approve the draft agenda of the 5th session of the 13th National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. Now let's invite the staff member to read out the draft.
中国人民政治协商会议第13届
For the
全国委员
5th session
会
of the
第5
13th
次会
National
议
Committee of
议程
CPPCC
草
agenda,
案
draft version.
1.
First,
听取和审议
Listen
政
to
协
and
全国委员会
deliberate
常务委员会
the
工作报告。
work report of the 5th session of the 13th National
听
Committee of
取和审
CPPCC.
议政协
Second,
全国委
listen
员
to and
会常务委
deliberate
员会
the
关于
Standing
政协
Committee
13届
of the
4次会议
13th
以来
National
提
Committee's
案工作情
proposals
况的报
ever
告。
since the 4th session of the 13th National
3.
Committee of
列席
CPPCC.
第13
Third,
届全国人民代表大会第5次会议，
attend
听取
the
并讨
5th
论
session
政府
of
工
the
作报
13th
告。于常务委员
13th
会
National
工作
Committee
报告的
of
决议，
CPPCC's work report about the
6.
Standing Committee.
审议通过
Six.
政协第13届
Deliberate
全
and
国委员
approve
会第5
the
次会
5th
议
session of the
关于
13th
政协
National Committee
13
of
届4次会议以来
CPPCC's
提案工作情况报告的决议。
proposals ever since the 4th session
7.
of the
审议
13th
通
National
过
Committee of
政协第
CPPCC.
13届
Seven,
全国委
deliberate
员
and
会
approve
提案委员会关于政
the
协13届
proposal
5次会议
committee's
提案审查情况的报告。
deliberation and
宣读完
review.
毕。
That's the end of this announcement.
各位委员对这个议程
The
草
honorable
案
members,
有什么意见？
any objection to this draft?
如果没有意见，
If
请
no,
鼓
please
掌通过
applaud。for approval.
现在进
Now
行
let's
第二
enter
项议
into the
程，
second agenda.
请汪洋主席
Let's give
代
the
表
floor
政
to
协
Chairman Wang Yang
第13
on
届
behalf
全国
of
委员
the
会
Standing
常务
Committee of
委
the
员会
13th National
做
Committee
工作报
of
告。
CPPCC to deliver the work report.
Fellow members,
我代表
on
中国人
behalf
民政治协商会议
of the Standing Committee
第13
of
届
the 13th
全国委员
National
会
Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative
向
Conference,
大会报告工
I
作，
present this
请
report
予审议。
on our work for your deliberation.
一、
1.
2021年
2021
锚定开
in
局
review,
14.5
fulfilling
开
our
启
duties
新
with the
征程
focus on implementing the 14th five-year plan and embarking on a new journey.
2021年是党
Last
和国家
year
历史上
was the
具
milestone
有
in
里
the
程
history
碑
of
意
the
义的一
CPC
年。面
and the
对
People's Republic of
复杂
China,
严峻的国际形势
confronted with a
和艰
complicated
巨繁
international
重的国
landscape
内改革
and
发展
challenging
稳
tasks
定
of
任务
pursuing reform and development and ensuring
以习
stability
近
at
平
home,
同志为
the
核心的
CPC
中
Central
共中央
Committee, with Comrade Xi
团结带
Jinping
领
at its
全
core,
党
rallied
全国
and led the
各族
entire party and the Chinese people
沉着应
in
对
responding
百年变
to
局
the
和
once-in-a-century
世纪疫情
changes taking place in the world
隆重
and a
庆祝
once-in-a-century
中国共产
pandemic.
党
We
成立
celebrated the
100周
CPC's
年
centenary,
如期
won
打
the
赢
battle
脱贫
against
攻坚战
poverty on schedule,
全面建成
achieved
小康社
the
会
first centenary goal of
开启
building
了
a
全面
moderately
建设社
prosperous
会主义
society
现代化
in
国
all
家
respects, embarked on a
向第
new
二个
journey
百年奋
toward
斗
the
目标
second
进
centenary
军的
goal of
新
building
征
a
程
modern socialist
实
country
现了
in all
14.5
respects, and got off to a
良好开
good
局
start with the 14th five-year plan.
中共19届六中全会
The resolution of the CPC Central Committee on the major achievements and historical experience of the party over the past century, which was adopted at the 6th plenary session of the 19th CPC Central Committee, brought greater unity and cohesion to the whole party and the entire nation, and further fortified our conviction and determination to learn from history and create a bright future.
在中共中央坚强领导下
Under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee, the CPPCC National Committee, and its Standing Committee followed the guidance of Xi Jinping's thoughts on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era,
增强4个意识
enhanced our consciousness of the need to maintain political integrity, thinking big pictures, follow the leadership call and keep in alignment with the Central Party leadership, increased our confidence in the past theory, system, and culture of socialism with Chinese
以
characteristics,
庆祝中国共产党
and stiffened
成
our
立
determination
100
to
周年
uphold
为
General
主线
Secretary Xi Jinping's core position on the CPC Central Committee and in the party as the whole, and to uphold the CPC Central Committee's authority and its centralized, unified leadership, bearing in mind the importance of pursuing unity and democracy and preserving the nature and position of the CPPCC, we strengthen theoretical and political guidance with the focus on celebrating the CPC's centenary and fulfilled our duties with the view to facilitate a good start to the 14th five-year plan, and we have made new contributions to the
聚焦庆
construction
祝
of
中
the
国共
party
产
and
党
the
100年
country.
华诞
One, celebrating the CPC's centenary and consolidating shared political
深入
foundations.
开展以中共党史
We
为重点
educate
的
people
思
about
想
the
教育
history of the CPC and also the history of the People's Republic of China.
分层次开展学习，
We carried out
突出
different
政协特色，
sorts of learning activities, and we highlighted the characteristics of the CPPCC and leveraged the role of CPPCC members in consolidating consensus and also history. And through the learning of history, we have cultivated our virtual and also political awarenesses. We convened a conference for members of the CPPCC to exchange experience in studying General Secretary Xi Jinping's speech delivered on CPC's centenary. All participants expressed their resolve to embark on a new journey toward the second centenary goal under the leadership of the CPC. We conducted inspections, surveys, research tours at local revolutionary education bases, and we have organized CPPCC members from 34 social sectors to Jiangxi and Guizhou, which was a valuable review of the CPC's grand history and a profound experience for all participants. We produced committee member lecture programs, including one on the theme of carrying forward the spirits of communists. We organized visits to the Museum of the Communist Party of China and staged exhibitions on the 8th National Congress of the CPC. And on precious historical material related to the origins of the flag of the party, the country, and the army. Through these learning activities, our members reaffirmed their ideals and convictions. We oriented our 48 reading groups toward studying CPC history, with 385 national committee members serving as group leaders and reading guides. More than 270,000 reflections on readings were shared by members, which received over 1.42 million views online. We organized offline reading and lecture programs on classic revolutionary works and encouraged participants to use this as an opportunity to share their impressions and pull strengths. After the closing of the 6th plenary session of the 19th CPC Central Committee, we immediately held a collective meeting to draw upon the spirits of the meeting. Through study seminars on Xi Jinping's thoughts on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era and awareness-raising tours, we promoted the implementation of relevant principles, guided members in recognizing the decisive significance of both Comrade Xi Jinping's core position on the Party Central Committee and in the party as a whole, and the guiding role of Xi Jinping's thoughts. Second, deliberating and offering suggestions on central tasks and contributing to a good start of the 14th five-year plan. We executed the annual consultation plan in spite of the challenges brought by COVID-19. In the past year, we conducted 25 consultation sessions, organized 82 inspections, surveys, and research tours, and filed 5,039 proposals, and collected and distributed 867 conference speeches, serving the CPC and the state well in decision-making and policy implementation. Focusing on high-quality development, we convened a consultative meeting of the Standing Committee on fostering a new pattern of development, and carried out research and deliberations on various issues. And these include the following: expanding domestic demand, removing key obstacles to economic flows, preserving and utilizing germplasm resources, accelerating the launch of new major national technology programs, reinforcing China's strategic science and technology, implementing the development plan for the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area, coordinating the development of city clusters along the middle reaches of the Yangtze River, and planning for new types of infrastructure, promoting multimodal transportation and steering healthy development of the online gaming industry. With people's well-being in mind, we convened a consultative meeting on elevating the Peaceful China initiative to a higher level and organized consultations on consolidating and expanding the achievements in poverty reduction and addressing population aging. We offered suggestions on a wide range of issues, including boosting development and raising living standards in border areas in a new era, building a high-quality education systems, reinforcing the nationwide network for safeguarding public health, preserving and developing traditional Chinese medicine, building more public medical centers and clinics in rural areas and improving their management, and formulating a social assistance law and bolstering development and security in border areas, with the view to advancing ecological progress, we intensified oversight of environmental protection measures for adapting to the climate change on the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau. We also organized consultations concerning ecological preservation in the Yellow River Basin, carbon peaking and carbon neutrality, the protection of ecosystems at key lakes, and urban sewage treatment. As part of high-level opening up, we held consultative forums on implementing key opening up measures in the 14th Five-Year Plan, boosting China's overall competitiveness in foreign trade, developing the Hainan Free Trade Port, and raising the quality and effectiveness of law enforcement and judicial practice in foreign-related areas. Third, enriching the content of the CPPCC consultation and performing the functions of a specialized consultative body. We reinforced the fundamental function of special committees, adopted new measures of consultation, and reached greater depths in better improving the performance of our work. We initiated consultative forums for specialists, bringing together specialists from different sectors and academic disciplines. Over the past year, we have conducted a lot of in-depth discussions. 36 such forums were organized focusing on strategic topics such as scientific and technological innovation, the popularization of science, and research on a system of indicators for agriculture and rural areas. Some of the major results achieved at this event have been reaffirmed and adopted. We formulated work plans for domestic oversight and held a Chairperson's Council brainstorming session on a theme of strengthening and improving domestic and democratic oversight by the CPPCC in a new era, to give full play to the unique strengths of consultative oversight. We integrated consultation into every step of the oversight process. Led by members of the Chairperson's Council, the 10 special committees exercised oversight on priorities in different sectors and submitted oversight reports to the CPC Central Committee and the State Council on topics such as accelerating renovations to create convenience for seniors. Through these endeavors, we saw that consultation spurred progress and that oversight led to better enforcement. Leaders of the National Committee set an example in advancing independent research, which demonstrated the advantage of being flexible, pragmatic, and efficient. Last year, independent research was carried out on more than 120 issues. We opened up more channels for reporting on social conditions and public sentiment, presented key meeting marking the 110th anniversary of the Revolution of 1911. By thoroughly studying General Secretary Xi Jinping's important speech at the meeting, we became more determined to promote the complete reunification of the motherland and achieve the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. Members of the National Committee's leading party members have open discussions with 367 non-CPC members of the National Committee. We arranged 11 awareness-raising tours on special topics of major significance, hosted 10 committee members' lecture programs, and conducted 11 topic-specific self-teaching and self-improvement inspection tours for non-CPC members. We also held 4 seminars to assess the macroeconomic landscape and 10 briefings on major issues of public concern. In the meantime, we have filmed a number of interview videos for a series titled Conference Call. All these efforts helped communicate government policies, respond to public concerns, and build consensus. We studied and implemented the guiding principles of the Central Conference on Ethnic Affairs and National Conference on Religious Work. We held training sessions for members from ethnic minorities and religious groups, and conducted surveys on issues such as boosting the employment in areas with concentration of ethnic minorities and the governance of religious affairs in the effort to promote ethnic solidarity and religious harmony. We encouraged members from Hong Kong to voice their support for the National People's Congress in improving the electoral system of Hong Kong, promote the principle that Hong Kong should be governed by patriots, and offer suggestions on responding to COVID-19 pandemic and fostering patriotism among young people in Hong Kong and Macau. We co-hosted the 4th Street Forum on community-level governance as part of the 13th Street Forum. These efforts helped strengthen the unity with our compatriots in Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, and overseas compatriots. We carried out international exchanges while adhering to routine COVID-19 control. We hosted activities for diplomatic envoys from Latin American and Caribbean countries posted in China to experience the CPPCC for themselves. We provided support for China Economic and Social Council and the China Committee on Religion and Peace to attend relevant international events, and conducted 80 international exchange events online. We launched a new column titled An Epic March on our English language website to mark the centenary of the Communist Party of China, and filmed international publicity clips to illustrate the CPCC endeavors over the past century and its achievements in governance of China, and to inform people about the whole process of people's democracy and the CPPCC system. We issued formal statement to clarify our stance of principled opposition in response to the passage of an act concerning Xinjiang by the U.S. Congress and the adoption of the report concerning Taiwan by the European Parliament and its Committee on Foreign Affairs. 5th, stepping up self-improvement efforts to enhance performance. To advance party building efforts with a focus on reinforcing the CPC's political foundations, we surveyed the implementation of the guidelines on strengthening party building in the CPPCC for the new era, and held a conference to review the CPPCC's endeavors in party building and to share experience in this regard. We made efforts to foster a culture of reading within the CPPCC, organizing online conferences at both the national and local levels, and published a book series titled CPPCC Members Anthology, and revising measures for strengthening and improving study among CPPCC members. We formulated rules on the handling of the proposals at consultative meetings and held a national conference for local CPPCC committee to exchange experience in proposal work. We formulated guidelines on strengthening the theoretical studies in the CPPCC and supported the China CPPCC Theory Research Association in carrying out research on its role as a specialized consultative body. We convened a forum at the National Committee on Communication and Theoretical Outreach Work, and further consolidated our positions and improved the management on the ideological front. We also explored the work mechanism of special inspections at different levels. Fellow members, we owe our achievements over the past year to the firm leadership of the CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, to the strong support of all the sectors of society, to the concerted efforts of the participating organizations of the CPPCC and its committees at all levels, and to the commitment of all members to performing their duties with diligence and pride, to taking their responsibilities. I'd like to express my sincere gratitude on behalf of the Standing Committee of CPPCC. At the same time, we must be soberly aware that there is still room for improvement in the CPPCC's work. We need to raise the quality of our proposals and become more effective at building consensus. We must also ensure that members can make efforts to keep in touch with and serve people from various sectors and develop a stronger sense of responsibility. We should take solid steps to address these issues in our future work and make sure that they are put on the ground.
Part 2.
2022年
Tasks for
围绕中
2022.
国共产党
Holding
20大
the
胜利
strength
召开
and will of the
明星
people
聚会
behind the 20th CPC
2022
National
年
Congress.
进入全
The
面
year
建设社会主义现代
2022
化国
is
家
an important year for
向第二
embarking
个
on
百
the new
年
journey
奋斗目
toward
标
the
进
second
军
centenary
新
goal
征
of
程的
building
重
China
要一
into a
年。
modern socialist country
中国
in
共
all
产党
respects.
将召
And the
开
year in
第
which the
24
CPC will
全
hold
国
its
代表大会
20th National Congress.
人民政协
With
要
this
以
in
习
mind,
近平
the
新时代
CPPCC
中国特色
will
社会主
do
义
the
思
following.
想为
Follow
指
the
导，
guidance of Xi Jinping thought on
全面贯
socialism
彻
with Chinese
中
characteristics
共
for new
十九
era.
大
Fully implement the
和
guiding
19届
principles
历
set
次
forth
全
at the
会精神，
CPC's 19th National Congress
认真
and all
落
plenary
实
sessions
中
of
央
the
政协
19th
工作会议
CPC
精
Central
神，
Committee.
增
Implement
强
the
四个意
guidelines
识
of the Central Conference on
坚定
CPPCC
四个
work,
自信，
enhance our
做到
consciousness of the
两
need to
个
maintain
维护，
political integrity, thinking
坚
big
持
picture,
稳
follow the
中求
leadership
进
core,
工
and
作
keep
总
in
基调，
alignment with party
坚
leadership.
持团结和
Increase our
民主
confidence in
两
the
大
path,
主题，
theory, system, and culture
坚
of
持建
socialism
言
with
辞
Chinese
政和
characteristics.
凝聚共识，
Uphold
双
General
向发
Secretary
力，
Xi Jinping's core
把
position on the
迎接
CPC Central
中共
Committee
20
and in the
大，
party as a whole.
学习宣
Adhere
传
to the
贯
general
彻
principle
20大
of
精
pursuing
神，
progress
作为
while
贯
ensuring
穿
stability.
全年的
Commit to the two
重大
main
政治任
themes
务，
of pursuing unity and
认真做
democracy.
好思想引
Continue
导，
to work
汇
hard
聚
on
力量，
both offering
义正
suggestions
建
and building
言，服
consensus.
务大局，
Give political
各项
priority to preparing for the
为保
CPC's
持
20th
平
National
稳健
Congress.
康的经济
Focus
环
on
境，
providing theoretical guidance,
国
building
泰民
strengths,
安的社会
deliberating,
环
and
境，
offering suggestions on
风
state
清气正
affairs
的
and
政
serving
治
the
环
overall
境，
interests
做
of the
出贡献。
country. Make contributions toward a steady and healthy economy, a thriving nation, a
紧扣
harmonious
党和
society,
国
and a
家
political
工作大
environment
局，
of honesty and
广泛
integrity.
凝聚共识。
1. Building up broad consensus with a
要围
focus
绕
on the
迎
overall
接中
work
共
of the
20大
CPC and the
加
country.
强
In
思
the
想
lead
政
up
治
to the
建设，
CPC's 20th National
坚持
Congress, we will work
习
on
近平新
fostering
时代
political integrity
中国
within the
特色社会
CPPCC.
主义思想
To
学
be more
习座谈会
specific,
制度，
we will continue the practice of holding
完善
forums on
党
Xi
组
Jinping
理
thought on
论学习
socialism
中
with
心
Chinese
组为主
characteristics
导
for new
的
era,
学习
refine the
制
study
度体
system
系，
under which the theoretical study
深入
group
学
under
习
the
贯
leading
彻
party
中
members
共
group
19
of the
届
National
六
Committee
中
charts
全
the
会精
course of
神，
studies. Fully
巩
implement the
固
guiding
拓展
principles of the
党史
19th
学习教
CPC
育
Central
制度，
Committee's 6th plenary session,
学
consolidate
共
and
同
build upon the
党的创
achievements
新，
of our educational
团
campaign
结
on the
引导
history of
广
the
大委员，
CPC,
坚
acquire a
定不
thorough
移
grasp of
走
the
中国
CPC's
特色
latest
社会
theories
道
and
路，
rally and guide our members in sticking to the path of socialism with
要进一
Chinese
步提高
characteristics.
谈心谈
We
话
will further
委员
improve
讲
our
堂
regular mechanisms
重
such
大
as
专项
open
工作
discussions,
委员
committee
宣
member
讲
lecture
团
programs, awareness-raising
专委
tours
会
for
会
special
媒体
tasks
见
of
面
major
会
significance,
重点
press
关切
conferences
问
by
题
special
情况
committees,
通报会
briefings on major
等
issues
机
of
制
public
化做法
concern.
的水平。鼓励委员结
Furthermore,
合
we will
自身经
encourage
历
our members to
运用
draw on their
多
own
种方式
experience and
讲
talk
述
about the historic
中共
achievements
18
and
大以
changes in the
来
course
党和
of the
国家事业
CPC
取
and the
得的
country
历
since
史
the
性成就
18th
发生的
CPC
历
National
史性变
Congress
革，
through a variety of channels.
要丰富
We
团结
will
联谊活
stage
动
a
的形
greater
式，
variety of
把握社会
initiatives to
动态，
fortify unity
反
and
映
friendship,
界群
keep
众
track
诉
of
求，
changes in society as
促
they
进社会
emerge,
和谐。
convey public concerns from different sectors,
中
and
共
promote
20大
social
召开
harmony.
后，要通过
After the
常委会
20th
会议
CPC National
主席
Congress,
会
we'll
议
work hard to study,
理论
disseminate, and
学
implement
习
the guiding
专
principles
题
set
辅
forth
导
at the
报告
Congress through
委员
avenues
读
including
书等
study
形
sessions
式
of the Standing Committee,
深入做
Chairperson's
好
Council,
学习
Theoretical
宣
Study
传
Group,
贯彻工作，
topic-specific
切实把思
instructional
想和
talks,
行
and
动
members' reading groups.
统一
We
到
will truly
大
ally
会
our
精神
thoughts and actions with these principles
团
and
结
rally
引导
and guide
参
all
加人
political
民政
parties,
协的
people's
各党派
organizations,
团体
and
和
individuals
各族
from
各界
all
人士
ethnic groups
以
and
强
sectors
烈
of
的
society
历
in the
史鼓舞精
CPPCC
神
in working
奋进新
with
征程
great
建
historical
构新
initiative
时
to
代
push forward on our new journey and capture success in the new era.
二
2.
以高质量建
Promoting
言
high-quality
高质
development
量
with
发展
high-quality recommendations.
以统筹推
We will
进
hold
绿色低
consultative
碳
meetings
高
of
质
the
量发
Standing
展
Committee on
和
advancing green and low-carbon development and high-quality development in a coordinated manner, as well as on continued implementation of employment-first policy. Will conduct consultations on promoting healthy development of the digital economy and further implementing the strategy to develop a high-caliber workforce in the new era. Through various forms of consultation, such as bi-weekly consultative forums, online consultations, proposal handling consultations, and consultative meetings with relevant departments, will carry out in-depth studies and discussions, focusing on topics such as promoting sound development of rural healthcare, bolstering patriotic sentiment among the people of Hong Kong and Macau, including affinity for both their motherland and their regions, revising the law on arbitration, fully leveraging the role of vocational education in rural revitalization, advancing Yellow River National Cultural Park development, strengthening people-to-people exchanges with Belt and Road partner countries. We will continue to follow the principle of conducting research before consultations take place and work hard to make research more in-depth and effective. We will improve the mechanism of expert consultations and carry out forward-looking research and in-depth consultations on finding pathways to common prosperity, developing renewable energy, stepping up efforts to make original breakthroughs in cutting-edge science and technology, responding to population aging, and promoting protection and utilization of immovable cultural relics. We will continue to exercise democratic oversight on the implementation of the 14th Five-Year Plan with a view to finding problems, suggesting improvements, and assisting in the implementation of initiatives. 3. Continuing to strengthen the role of CPPCC as a specialized consultative body, with a focus on implementing General Secretary Xi Jinping's important ideas on strengthening and improving CPPCC work and the guidelines of the Central Conference on CPPCC work, we will take follow-up action to study and review the innovations that we have made in various aspects since the 18th CPC National Congress. We will deepen our studies on major theoretical and practical issues relating to the CPPCC and work hard to make fresh progress in refining the substance of consultation, diversifying its forms, improving its rules, fostering a culture of consultation, and building our capacity for consultation. We will develop think tanks with CPPCC features that are geared toward practical application. We will offer advice on the implementation of guidelines for strengthening and improving the work of municipal and country-level CPPCC committees in the new era. We will step up theoretical studies on the CPPCC and hold a seminar on the role of CPPCC in whole process people's democracy. We'll continue to hold in-depth consultations on the handling of proposals, intensify oversight on the proposals, and hold meetings to commend best proposals and outstanding departments that do a good job in handling them. We'll improve the quality of our work related to CPPCC bulletins, conference speeches, cultural, historical materials, and news and publicity. In line with China's overall diplomatic agenda, we'll actively conduct friendly exchanges with other countries. Acting on the plans and requirements of the CPC Central Committee, will ensure strict discipline enforcement in conjunction with the formation of the next National Committee of the CPPCC. With the goal of building the National Committee into a model body, we will promote good conduct and uphold integrity and cultivate a contingent of competent and professional officials suited to the demands of the new era. Part 3. A stronger sense of mission and responsibility, striving for great unity among all the sons and daughters of the Chinese nation. General Secretary Xi Jinping's important speech delivered at the ceremony marking the CPC's centenary and the resolution adopted at the 6th plenary session of the 19th CPC Central Committee gave an in-depth review of the key historical experience of advancing the United Front and strengthening the unity among all the sons and daughters of the Chinese nation. The CPPCC, as the most inclusive patriotic united front organization, is a symbol of great unity and solidarity. The CPPCC should carry forward its fine traditions, faithfully execute its duties and fulfill its missions, build up great consensus, and bring together powerful strengths for the great cause of building a modern socialist China in all respects and realizing the Chinese dream of national rejuvenation. 1. Strengthening the great unity among all the sons and daughters of the Chinese nation is the historic responsibility of the CPPCC in the new era. Unity is the root from which the CPPCC blossomed, and the source of the energy that has allowed our organization to carry on and thrive. At many different stages in history, the CPPCC has made important contributions to promoting unity among the sons and daughters of the Chinese nation. Today, the world is experiencing rapid changes unseen in a century, and China is undergoing the greatest and most unique process of innovation in practice that has ever occurred in human history. At the same time, we are faced with the tasks in promoting reform, development, and stability, with difficulties, risks, and challenges, and with tests in national governance that are all unprecedented in their magnitude. These make it even more imperative to strengthen the unity of all the Chinese people. We should earnestly fulfill the responsibility and mission entrusted by the new era to the CPPCC, remain committed to striking the right balance between commonality and diversity, make effective use of our institutional strength to expand common ground and achieve the greatest possible convergence of interests, and promote harmony in relations between political parties, between ethnic groups, between religions, between social strata, and between our compatriots at home and abroad. CPPCC members should enhance their political awareness, fully understand that each of them is an important force for strengthening the unity among the Chinese people, and reach out to people from all sectors of society to promote unity. All members should place value in unity and work actively to pursue and promote it. Members should truly take on their responsibilities instead of sitting on the sidelines, and make real efforts instead of just paying lip service, rallying more people around the CPC and pulling greater strength behind the historic advance to the great cause of the national rejuvenation. 2. To strengthen unity throughout the Chinese nation, we must give better play to the consolidative strengths of the CPPCC. By building consensus through consultation and by consolidating unity through consensus, we are demonstrating the values of whole process people's democracy and the institutional efficacy of our specialized consultative body. We must fully understand just how important building consensus is to strengthening unity in the new era, and be adept at using the methods of democracy, discussion, criticism, and persuasion to properly handle problems among the people. With honest consultations that unify our thinking and goals, we'll be able to create a situation in which stronger internal unity leads to stronger social unity, and consensus leads to action. Simplistic work methods must be dispensed with. We must keep up to date with what our National Committee members are thinking, with the recognition that they come from different social sectors, fields, and industries. We should also host study sessions, discussions, and explain policies based on the needs of different members at different times. Actively report on their valuable opinions and demands, guide members in viewing economic and social development in the correct light, and ensure the principles and policies of the CPC are better understood and better implemented. This will ensure we work in targeted ways to effectively allay grievances, guide expectations, and maintain confidence. Short-term goals and actions must be avoided. We must persist with an incremental, steady, and persistent approach, integrate theoretical and political guidance for more complicated and sensitive issues with regular guidance on this front. We must stay focused on difficulties, hot-button issues, and emerging problems of public concern, and keep working to preserve the unity between promoting democracy and generating public support in our commitment to serving the people. Unbalanced assessment standards must be rejected. When assessing performance, we must examine whether members have helped in resolving real problems, but also whether they have contributed positively to diffusing potential risks and dangers. We must see if they have held firm and spoken out at critical moments, but also if they have engaged deeply with their respective sectors to fulfill their duties of communicating policy, addressing problems, and increasing unity. The problem of putting form over substance in our work measures must be overcome. we must work to maintain the unity between acting on the baseline and advancing CPPCC consultation, basing our work on local conditions and exploring ways of maintaining close contacts with local people on the ground, employing modern means of communication to create new and efficient ways of serving public, encouraging National Committee members to better serve as the promoters of CPC policy as theoretical and political guides and as the go-to people for people in their respective sectors. 3. To strengthen unity throughout the Chinese nation, we must uphold the leadership of the CPC. Unity must have a center, and only when that center is firmly upheld can we unite the hearts and minds of the many. The CPC has been chosen by history and the Chinese people as the center for the Chinese nation's unity. The past and the present reality provide ample proof that the stronger the CPC's leadership, the firmer its political stand, the more it's possible to consolidate and broaden the patriotic united front, effectively pull the wisdom and energy of all the sons and daughters of the Chinese nation at home and abroad, and realize great unity that is genuine, extensive, and tight-knit. The CPPCC must therefore take a clear political stand and uphold the leadership of the CPC, and especially the centralized, unified leadership of the CPC Central Committee. It must better fulfill its important roles of strengthening and upholding party leadership over all areas of work, of using the party's latest theories to unite and guide public figures from all ethnic groups and social sectors, and of resolving problems and building consensus based on a shared theoretical and political foundation. Party organizations and CPC members within the CPC party leadership, they must establish a sense of responsibility for pulling the will and the energy they need, be prepared to speak up and provide guidance and leadership, and be adept at resolving problems. We must take the view that fulfilling our duties is not about having our say, but about saying the right things, and get better at not just saying the right things, but saying them in a way that people will accept and embrace. We should deepen identification with Chinese culture and values based on our shared history and common cultural roots. Enhance identification with our past and system based on our great achievements over the past century and the shared goals toward which we are now striving, and increase identification with theories and policies based on ideological and political development and looking after the interests and concerns of the people. We must strengthen unity while fulfilling duties, consolidate unity while cooperating on common endeavors, and deepen unity as we jointly strive together, so as to help create a truly vibrant situation in which all the sons and daughters of the Chinese nation are committed to the same goal in mind and are pulling in the same direction to achieve it. Fellow members, strength springs from unity, and a great mission demands unity. Let us then unite more closely around the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core. Commit to working hard and bravely advancing forward. Open up new prospects for the CPPCC's endeavors in the new era. Make new and even greater contributions to building a modern socialist China in all respects and to realizing the Chinese dream of national rejuvenation. And do solid work to usher in a triumphant 20th National Congress of the CPC.